Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the AniGains podcast. I'm your host as always, Mr. Cam Z Fitness, and joined with me, as always, are the fucking boys. Mr. Qais Butt, Mr. Noah. Fellas, how's it hanging?
It's hanging low and it's hanging well.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
It's all going good here. I don't know about you two, but it's been absolutely scorching up in Scotland at the moment. Like, I'm getting...
What's your definition of scorching? I bet it's like 12 degrees or something.
It's like 18, 19 up here.
That's not scorching.
Fuck off. Listen, you're not getting scorching up in Scotland unless it's 18 plus. I was at the beach yesterday.
Oh my god.
Well, no, it was unreal to be fair, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's sunscreen. Is that what you call it? Sunscreen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sun cream weather coming up. That's for sure.
Actually, speaking of sun cream, do you know you should actually wear sun cream like regardless every single day?
Oh,
because the number one cause of aging is sunlight without wearing sun cream. So if you want to go into your 30s and 40s without wrinkles, wear sun cream every single day. This is my skincare tip for the day. Anyways, in terms of how I've been, not too bad. not too bad. I've actually just got back into the gym, which is really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I've had like 9 days off, which is like, yeah, it was absolute torture for me. Honestly, like, just going crazy. Luckily, I've been quite busy with posing, so I've had that to kind of occupy me. I've caught up with some anime as well, which has been cool. But yeah, man, I've just been itching to get back into the gym because I had to take some time off just for some things that weren't feeling great in the gym, and I actually got my bloods, and we will discuss that in the next episode when we're a bit more clear about what's going on. But yeah, overall things are looking much more positive now. But how about you, Cam?
Oh man, you know, I hate to flex. Things have been very well for me. Training's fucking flying. Everything was going well until the other day. I'd noticed that I was running a little bit low on the whey protein side of things, and obviously at the time of recording this it's the 4th of April, so Perform hardcore pranked at everybody with they released 2 flavors. One was like bacon maple bacon pancakes, I think it was.
Yeah, pancakes and bacon with maple syrup, yeah.
And the other one was basically a Cam's Fitness exclusive flavour. Fried chicken and waffle flavoured whey.
This is made for you, Cam. Literally made for you.
No, like, I saw the advert and I was like, is it a joke? And then, like, I got sent an email, like, later. Because I saw it and they were like, oh, April Fools, we got you. I was like, fuck's sake. So I was actually looking forward to it. And then I got an email from them saying, we weren't joking. So I just impulsively, didn't even think, ordered it. It came the next day, the following day, and I took it out the box, and it fucking honked, right? I was like, yeah, I don't know if, like, I'm not trying to get sued. I don't know if Perform told everybody to say, oh, it really smells of KFC. It doesn't, right? It smells of, like, curdled milk. I'll give a full smell test.
It was a whiff.
That does not smell of no fucking KFC. That smells of like curdled milk, like Cajun seasoning and fart, like all like kind of condensed into one. Oh god, dude, the smell repeats on you. There's one like condensed powder. So I just thought it was the packaging. I was like, okay, somebody's clearly sneaking farts in the Perform whey boxes. Fine, you know, I don't mind. How they do business is not up to me. You know, packing error, right? So I go to crack it open. I summon the courage. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to full send it. I'll put it in my oats this morning. Like I said, I don't have any other whey protein.
You put it in your oats?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, bearing in mind there is like other things in there to like kind of like mitigate and save the taste a little bit. Fuck me, dude. That was a rough decision. I realized the smell was coming from the powder and not the box. And I put it in the microwave. And it was the most interesting smell I have ever, like, it was a concoction going on in there. My dog was getting upset. Like, he could smell it, and he just started, like, silently whining. I was like, mate, I'm the one who's got fucking scran this. Yeah, long story short, it tasted worse than it fucking smelled. It actually tasted of like chicken thigh and burning sugar and fart all at the same time. The other saving grace parts of the oats did not carry. And I'm one of these people, right? Especially within a prep phase, I like to make my food as shit as possible to reduce food focus. But where we're at right now in the off season, like, I actually don't know what to do. If any of the listeners want any fried chicken whey, feel free to DM me at Cam's Fitness, and I'll just probably fucking mail it to you, because it's so rough, man. Like, the smell is still in the room. Yeah, Perform, if you're watching this, don't sue me. But whoever made that, fucking hell, you missed hella. Like, I purposely make my food shitter in prep to reduce food focus, and I actually hope that flavour sticks, because I probably will buy it on, like, towards the back end of prep, just to make things, you know, a little bit easier, make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Yeah, dude. Aside from that, man, training's fucking moving well. That if the worst part of your day is getting a scoop of whey, your day's pretty fucking good. So, yeah, man, really can't complain. Can't complain at all.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Wicked. Right then, should we get into the topic we wanted to discuss, the little bodybuilding one?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sure. So, basically, I was on the topic of training going well. I was in the gym, and with show season right around the corner, somebody asked me, they were like, Cam, what's your take on, you know, people getting to the stage? Does that count as a win? If you are the only person in your category, does that make you a winner? And I was very conflicted about it. And I'm so on the fence with this. And I wanted to get a second and a third opinion from the boys, because certain coaches will be like, yes, mate, 100%. And I think it's very, very person dependent. What you classify as a win is very different, you know. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So I'm going to say it from my perspective. Obviously, I've competed for 3 competitive seasons now. I've lost and I've won. So I'm not one who's just done one or the other. So I've experienced both sides of the coin in lots of different shows and at lots of different levels. Like, winning is winning for me. Like, if you win, like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not impressive or anything, especially, let's say, you've come from a state where you've been massively overweight, or you've had a debilitating condition where it's made it harder for you to prep, and you've done that. That's a really, really good achievement, and you should be proud of yourself regardless of when you step on stage. And it's like a personal win for you in terms of you've achieved that. But winning is winning for me. Like, it's a competitive sport. I think people forget that sometimes. Like, it's really cool, and I love the sport, and I love the community aspect and everything. But when you're on stage next to those other people, your objective is to, like, obviously, yes, present your best, but it's to win. Yeah. Like, and anyone who's a real competitor wants to win. And, like, for me, I've won, I've lost, like, and obviously those losses do give me lessons, but I'm still disappointed when I don't win. And it's all right. It's all right to have those feelings, and it's all right to be like, when you win, like, have that sense of accomplishment. And yeah, I did that. And like if you say you're not motivated at all by winning, I think you're lying. Come on, man. I'm not saying it should be the only motivation for you doing it, but when I'm in the depths of prep and I want to, like, pull something out of, like, a set or something, I imagine me like I'm telling myself, if I do this, I'm gonna win. Like, it sounds stupid, but it's just a way of motivating yourself. And for me, yes, like, so this is another question, actually. So Noah, I'm gonna let you give your opinion first, but I'm gonna go on from this. I'm gonna ask you boys a question about what you would do in a certain circumstance.
Alright, so to me, I'm very much on the fence as well, because I feel like at the end of the day, you've won your. If you're the only one that's there, you've won, right? Yeah. I feel like it'd be less satisfying and, you'd probably leave with less satisfaction having, say for example, if you've stepped on stage and you've beat someone and other competitors are there, you're going to have a lot more satisfaction than leaving with the same result but with no one else on stage. But there will have been people that, say for example, have registered for the show and may have pulled for prep, and you've been able to get yourself into that position to be able to step on stage and be the person who's actually in condition. Now, not to say if you're the only one that turns up you're going to be in condition, but say for example if all these people are dropping like flies and not doing the show, you're the one that's been able to stick with your prep and take it the full way. So I think that it is a win, but I feel like you probably wouldn't feel quite as satisfied with that win. But it is a win. But
Yeah.
it's a hard one. Like, it's obviously a win. You've come home, you've got the first place, you'll have a chance to go into the overalls. Have you beaten anyone? No. But have you possibly beaten people in your prep that have just dropped off during prep that would have been on stage with you? Yes, you've beat them during the prep phase. On stage, you're the only one that's turned up, so you're automatically that winner, you know?
Yeah, I feel that entirely. The only thing I kind of, and my sort of gripe and counterpoint to that, right? Those people that didn't turn up, those people that didn't compete against you, are not your competition. Okay? What is the reason for you wanting to step on stage? Is it to be the best version of yourself, or is it to be objectively the best in the venue? You know, a lot of people, and I know pros who say the same thing as well. People will be like, I just want to enjoy this prep. I am just trying to better my last physique. I am just trying to be the best version of myself. What is the context on you stepping on stage? You know, are you the only one in your category in elite condition? You know, if you're stood by yourself but you're fucking peeled out of your mind, congratulations, you deserve to win. If you were most likely to be above the sort of standard of the rest of the show, especially like people who go and compete by themselves and then go on to win the overall, yeah, like, you know, I feel like that person would be significantly less deflated.
Yeah.
But for myself, right, and this is going to sound vain, I do not compete to be the best version of myself, because I think the best version of myself is the version that is objectively winning these shows. I want to win. Like, if I was going up against Qais and I turned up with the best package I'd ever bought, you know, head and shoulders, but he beats me, it's the best version of myself, but I've not won, you know. And it's like, do I walk away from that feeling like a winner? No, I lost.
Yeah.
If Qais was going to do that show, and then Qais, I know that Qais doesn't turn up because, say, something pops up or whatever. In my mind, do I say, oh, I beat Qais? No, he didn't.
No, because he's not on the stage, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in the name. It's competing.
Yeah,
like you are competing against other people. And I'm not saying, obviously, we want to win. And I'm not saying, like, sometimes winning isn't always the best. For example, if you're in a class of 1, say if I was in a class of 1 and I win, I wouldn't, like, I'd be like, okay. Or if I'm in a not competitive class and I win, I'm like, okay, I won, but is that... However, if I was in a competitive class and I was against Cam and Cam beat me and I came second, I'd be like, I lost, but like I stood against really good athletes. And I mean, I've had that experience, like in the in the UAE show. I was a really good standard of amateur athletes there. I stood against them. I got my pro card there, and I felt so fulfilled doing that, like beating these amazing athletes, and I was like, this is so cool. And then on the other end of it, when I was in the UK Supernatural shows, there were even better athletes there. They were pros, like top level natural pros, and I got smoked. Like, I got absolutely smoked by them. And it sucked, and it did hurt a bit, but it was like, it was still a cool experience to step against them. But I'm under no illusion that I won when I was there, because I didn't win. I lost. And it's part of the sport. Like, you've got to take the L's sometimes, and you've got to accept that you didn't win. Like, it's not one... For most people, you're not going to win every single show, and that's absolutely fine.
No.
But it's nothing wrong with wanting to win. Is what the main thing that I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then this leads me on to the next question that I was going to ask about this. So, for you two, like, let's say genetically, you were less blessed, let's say, and you were like, okay, my structure is really going to limit me here to the point where I'm probably never going to win a show. And there are people like this, unfortunately, where wider in the waist, narrow shoulders, and obviously for men's physique, that isn't ideal. Would you then continue to compete at that point, like step on stage, if you knew like you just weren't going to win a show, no matter how much you worked?
It depends what like you ask. If you aspirate, if you completely love the sport, then and you're going into it as a case of I want to be better than my last showing, then yeah, I would. I wouldn't be under any illusion that I would win though. Like I'd be very open and not like realistic with myself and be like, okay, I know that my genetics and my insertions and just my structure doesn't really suit this, but am I in it to become like a winner in every single show, or am I in it to show that I can get progressively better and prove to myself and do X, Y, Z and walk the walk? I think that I probably would. Again, I'm yet to win a show, so I'm still trying to get to that point myself. So we'll see, but I mean, I enjoy the process of it, and I'm sure that there's going to be people out there that aren't genetically blessed that will continue to step on because they just enjoy it. Yeah. So I think at least.
Yeah. How about you, Cam?
I think the term poor genetics is incredibly relative. I'm sure there are probably some Olympian coaches that would say, look at me, you, Noah, and be like, oh, these guys are never going to be the fucking Olympian. What's the point? Like, you know.
I'm not saying Olympia, but there is like a prerequisite for men's physique to do well.
I understand that to an extent.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, that's so subjective. It's a subjective sport. It's relative, right? If I had a absolute fucking melon of a midsection, right? You know, really, really narrow shoulders. Does that limit me from improving my physique? No.
Nope.
You know, if I stood up in a lineup of really, really good guys and were able to objectively look at them and see, okay, what is it that they have that I don't? What, you know, it almost goes back to what you were saying earlier. You compete to be competitive, right? You are probably, when the shit gets hard, when you're underneath that, like, you know, that fucking chest press, and you're like, oh shit, my competition will probably do another 2 more reps. That feeling stays regardless of how good your genetics is. That's work rate. You know, I think you can very easily put yourself in a box and say, my genetics are shit, and then limit your own work rate because of this sort of like self-inflicted idea that you're not good enough. But if you are truly, truly focused on like actually improving your physique, and here's the thing, bro, I've seen guys with not the best genetics beat other guys with significantly better genetics because of that work rate. Genetics are key in bodybuilding, don't get me wrong, but I've seen it hundreds of times where hard work actually trumps those genetics, especially when it comes to condition. Especially, like, you know, trust me, there's some real good genetic freaks that I've seen out there who turn up to these shows pretty fat. You know, like, it's one of those things.
Not saying any names here.
Not saying any names. Not saying any names. But at the same time, it's the same thing. Like, I've seen guys who I legitimately don't think even have great insertions who will beat other guys, you know, who look fucking mint, who could be, you know, at their actual best. Which is why I actually made the point earlier of saying, well, if you're the only one in your class, did you actually turn up to the best of your ability? Because that will dictate that winning feeling a little bit more. And if you on stage and you're not great, turned up your best, and you know what you need to do next time, keep showing up, man. Like, it don't matter.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think for me, I'm just saying it from a personal perspective. I think me, like, setting goals for myself and achieving them goals has motivated me more to go even further in the sport. And I think part of what has allowed me to do that, like, I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. I've worked really hard on being consistent, but if I didn't have the structure I do, I wouldn't have won those shows because that is my calling card. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. Every time I've won, I've beaten guys who have more muscle than me every single time.
Yeah.
As a whole, but I normally will have the best shape on stage, like in terms of my shoulder width, and my waist will probably be one of the best on stage. And obviously my posing will help that even more as well. My condition's good as well. Like I always come in. Obviously I've got a good coach who brings me in shredded every single time, but I'm never the most muscular guy or anything like that. And yeah, this is where the genetics comes into play, where you have that God-given structure or given from your parents, that those insertions, the lines, and that's especially in men's physique when it's so shape-driven in comparison to open bodybuilding, where you can have a bit of a bigger waist and just blow everyone away with loads of muscle. With men's physique, it is a little bit more shape-driven, so the people at the top of the sport, they're the ones who have done everything. They're shredded, they have amazing structure and genetics, and they have crazy muscle as well. And when all that's maximized, that's when you get the like truly elite athletes at the top.
Yeah.
So like for me, like I've always come from like a competitive background as well in terms of sports and everything. So when I do it, I wanna go in. I wanna be competitive. And I wanna win. If I was going into shows and let's just say at the better shows, I was always placing not so great because of a thing I can't control, which is structure. There are guys like that. I honestly, I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know if I would. I'd live the lifestyle 100%, but I don't know if I'd continue to like step on stage, honestly speaking.
Hold on a second, guys. I think you almost contradicted yourself a little bit. You know,
what's that?
Well, you're saying that like, oh well, if I didn't have the genetics I do, I wouldn't go ahead and, you know, put in this work rate, you know, when it comes to...
I do it. I do all the work. I'd train. I'd enjoy it. But I don't think I'd, like, compete, if you know what I mean.
But you agree that from a genetic standpoint, muscularity is not a strong point. You know, you just said you're never the biggest guy on there. But yet,
yeah.
Because of that reason, you come in fucking peeled. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do, but the thing is,
your genetics aren't maxed out, is what I'm saying.
No,
if I go ahead and work hard.
Yeah, I do, but I still think like overall my genetics for the division are very good because the shape. Like if I had good muscularity genetics and bad shape genetics, I wouldn't do well. Like shape is weighed more heavily than muscularity in men's physique. 100% it is. So this is where it's like with muscle. It's one of them where in my mind, I know, I don't really think about, I have bad muscle genetics. I don't think I do. I don't think it's like elite, but I can work on that. That's something that I can improve. Whereas if it was a shape thing, I'm like, I can grow bigger lats, I can grow bigger delts, but my waist is always going to be like this size, it would be hard to like process, I suppose, from my perspective. Whereas for me, I know, like, in my heart, I can improve my physique, which is like exciting for me. So I know there's room to improve. And muscle can be improved, condition can maybe be improved if you can maybe get leaner, but shape as a whole, it's kind of, you either have it or you don't, I think. And this is where it separates for like the elites from the not elite.
For sure. I feel like even if your shape isn't perfect, you can add muscle in the areas to maximize that shape, you know, as best you can. You know, like I've seen guys with bigger midsections literally just bring up their, you know, their top chain, bring out their lats a bit more, actually hit their fucking poses to hide away that big midsection. You know, they got their pro cards. You know, they beat guys with way better shape, you know. So I think, to almost like roundabout back to the original point, there are so many more variables that are in your control that just saying genetics bad is the reason why I'm shit doesn't cut it for me. Like, it really does. It still doesn't stop you from being good, because even if your genetics are bad, you can still be good enough to be better than like fucking 99% of other people. You know what I mean? Like, I'd still always tell that.
Sweet. Perfect. Right. Enough of this bodybuilding nonsense now. Let's get into the real order of the day. The anime stuff. Alright then. So, tier list time. As I said, our first ever episode, I think it was our first episode, wasn't it? We did a tier list of, what was that? What was that tier list again?
It was
the jacked.
Physiques, wasn't it?
It was the jacked anime characters, and we ranked them based on their physiques. So this time, it's going to be a bit more of a generic one, and we're going to do an anime main character tier list. So I'm just gonna protagonist. Yeah, I'm just gonna share my screen. So let me know when you guys can see that.
Yeah, it's up now.
Okay, so we've got quite a few here, so we're gonna rattle through them. So to start off with, we've got Anya Forger from Spy Family. I actually haven't seen Spy Family. Come have you?
Yes, I have. I don't know. Does she count as a main character?
I wouldn't. I would have Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
in any case, what would we have as in terms of
we're going off Anya. I love that show. Okay, so I watched Spy Family when like my estrogen was still fairly high in prep, and I remember actually thinking at the time like, kids are so financially unjustifiable, but fuck me, I want to have a fucking family. Like but I hate Anya as a fucking character. I like the idea that like of starting a family, but if I'm being so objective, Anya's such a little shit. Like, I would actually put her in like D tier. Like,
I just want the dog, to be honest with you.
the dog's a fucking legend, bro.
Right.
Yeah, the dog's cold.
So now we've got Asta from Black Clover. Cam, have you seen Black Clover?
I know of Asta, and I know he's very loud.
Yeah, if we can get rid of his voice, he'd put him higher probably.
He works hard though. He's the
does.
epitome of working hard. So C tier.
What are you saying? See?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Bocchi-chan from Bocchi the Rock. I haven't seen Bocchi the Rock. I think it's a music anime. So I think you'd probably like it, Noah.
Yeah?
No, Noah. If you liked Beck, you'll probably like Bob
Really?
the Rock. It kind of.
Oh wait, is this the girl band one?
Yeah, which
Right.
one of the girl band ones. There's multiple girl band ones. I have a thing with shy characters where I really fucking.
Where's that going?
You hate them or you like them?
Fuck, bro. They just move the story so slowly. It's just like, bro.
So what about
yourself.
what about Hinata from Naruto? Which is like
Oh my god! No, yeah, it's just like get it out. Like, look at your family. Like, look at the people around you. Like, Dave's got a fucking pair of nuts on him. Like, strap on. And, like, act like your clan a little bit. But like, yeah, they move the story along so slow, and her whole thing is like, I'm socially anxious, and she's incredibly talented, but she's socially. It's supposed to be relatable. I had to drop Watching the Rock because it was frustrating as fuck to watch. D tier.
D. Okay.
Just folk with pink hair.
Two pink girls
Yeah,
with
just folk with
a
pink
D
hair.
tier. Now our favorite show, Boruto Uzumaki.
D.
So what we think for Boruto? Really, D.
Boruto sucks, man. Like, he's a twat as well. Like,
Yeah, the thing is, the best thing about that show is the scenes with the original Naruto characters in,
yeah, man. Like, who
like Sasuke and
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
So now we've got Izuku from My Hero.
Okay.
You know what?
No, take the floor.
When I watched that, I thought he was actually pretty cool. I think him and who's the guy that had the half ice, half fire?
Todoroki.
I thought he was quite cool.
Yeah.
But I preferred him over Izuku. I wouldn't have him D. I think that'd be too harsh.
I think he's a better protagonist than
Asta.
I'd probably say they're about the same, to be honest. They're very generic.
So maybe
sort of
C.
anime
I'd have him higher than Asta, but in
Yeah,
C.
so that's higher. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So next we've got Denji from Chainsaw Man.
S tier.
I find him no chance. Absolutely. I refuse. No. He's not an S tier. I'm sorry, he's not.
He's so funny.
No. He's too
Okay.
pervy. I'm putting my foot down. I'm not putting him as an S.
Why?
I'm putting him B. I think he's a B.
Yeah, I say B.
Why?
Yeah.
What's your justification?
He doesn't have enough depth to his characters to start off with.
Have
He's
you
a
read the
bit
manga?
No, but like from what I've seen,
yeah, I'd say
No.
I think B's fair though.
yeah.
I think high B.
A
Let's put-
minimum.
No, He's
Well,
not
no,
an A.
bro. He's
Absolutely not an A.
What he is so different from pretty much 99% of the protagonists.
Can we see the end? Can we shuffle around if we disagree?
Yeah, we can. We
Yeah,
can. We
we'll
can.
put a
That's
pin in
fine.
that.
Because if we realise we've got a fuckload in B that he shouldn't be there, then I'm not mad
Yeah.
about A.
No,
Yeah.
well, that's fine. That's fine. So I think we've got an A character here, Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
To be fair, yeah, I'd say, yeah.
This is an A because he is quite a. Eventually, like to start off with, he's introduced as this like short, angry kid, but as you go throughout the show, he becomes a lot more layered in terms of his relationship with Al and the way he like empathizes with others, and his powers are pretty cool as well. So I'd have him as A.
Yeah, I think for that same reason. I think also, but because I'm a little bit biased, but like, because that's a slightly older show, he paved the way for a lot of like the newer characters as well, who follow like a similar format. So,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, man.
yeah.
S.
For me, this is an S. This is a clear S. This is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's genuinely one of the best written characters in any anime of all
Really?
time. Like,
Yeah, I'd probably
yeah,
agree.
absolutely. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna spoil anything, but the way
Already
I'm
have.
not going to spoil it anymore. No.
we're not gonna spoil it, but just by the end, you're like, oh my days, I cannot believe they had this much foreshadowing with this character earlier on in the
Really?
show that
So
we didn't see. Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
conflicting. It's very
incredible.
yeah.
Have I seen a good amount of... Like, I'm
Yes.
what? Really?
You'll have seen some foreshadowing that like
It'll go over your head, yeah.
it'll go over your head, but then when you look back, you'll be like, oh my
yeah,
days,
yeah,
how have I
yeah.
missed that?
Is it worth like a rewatch?
Yes,
100%.
yes,
I think
yes,
Catch everything
Yeah.
the second time.
absolutely.
Pick up on such minute details every time. Like, oh mate,
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to finish it so we can actually talk about some of the shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Alright, so I'll get a move
Wicked.
on then.
Okay, so the next one is Jin Toki from Gintama.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen Gintama. I've heard it's like pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I would actually say he's like a hard A tier, man. Bro is fucking incredible. He breaks what is like a typical anime protagonist massively. Yeah, man, he's. I don't want to give away to him. The show doesn't take itself very seriously at all, but he's
Yeah,
proper funny.
have you seen on my anime list? Gintama's like one of the highest rated anime on my anime list.
It doesn't surprise. It's one of those things where it's like, I think a lot of comedy anime fall flat because Eastern humor is very, very different to Western humor.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that show is just like legitimately is just funny. I think it appeals to everybody. Yeah, even like for its time, it's great. Yeah.
Okay. So next we've got Giorno Giovanna from JoJo's. I've actually seen one episode with him in because I actually watched like season 4 before I watched. Well, I watched one episode of season 4, but before I watched any of. I'm currently like midway through season 2 at the minute on JoJo's, enjoying it. But in terms of Giorno, what would you have him at?
It's a real hard one because, like, I'm so biased because I love JoJo's as an anime to just be like, oh, fucking S, but he's not. All right, it's just he's cool, and everybody in Part 5 is cool. I would genuinely probably put him on the same tier as Denji, but
Okay.
yeah.
Higher.
No, I'd say Denji's a better character.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've got one of the most iconic anime characters of all time.
We're gonna get clipped.
Goku. What's that? Goku from Dragon Ball.
This will get clipped. Now, if we're talking about paving the way for every other character, Goku fucking did it. He did it first.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know. So anything where it's like, ooh, generic. No, anybody else is generic because of him. He's very simple, but he can get away with being simple. Plus, he's got 6 Zeke. I'm going to say for that reason, he should be an A tier.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I think because of how iconic he is, you can't put him any lower.
No.
And because of how powerful he is, but there are characters with a bit more depth to them, I think, than him.
Those characters wouldn't exist without him, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's too much of a cultural bias to be like any lower.
Yeah. Okay, we have a very interesting one now, because from who I've spoken to, there are a lot of contrasting opinions on this character, and it is Gon from Hunter x Hunter. And what are your thoughts, Cam?
He's not like... It's less about Gon, and it's more about Gon's interaction with Killua, Gon's interaction with the world. As an individual character, he's the epitome of basically light. Like, he's just supposed to be good, pure of heart, sees the best in people. I'd probably say B, honestly.
Really that low?
I don't think that's low. I think, like, compared to some of the characters in...
Yeah.
What is great about Hunter x Hunter is the world, primarily. And how he interacts with the world, I think, is brilliant. But that's less to do with him as a character and more to do with the world. And the
Well, obviously, we had the famous scene with Peter.
Yep.
In terms of what happened there, and obviously he went ballistic and crazy there. However, there were signs beforehand that he did some like crazy stuff, and there's like a full essay on YouTube about how Gon is like a psychopath.
I've seen the essay. Yeah. I know the video you're talking about. Even like in like the first Hunter exam where you're like, low. But like, I think that's very different foreshadowing from the Attack on Titan. I wouldn't put that to be the same. Like, it's very different. Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got Hinata from Haikyuu.
I think he's low C. I think...
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, I think he's actually pretty decent. Like, as an MC.
I enjoyed his character, but I couldn't have him in B. I don't think he's the same kind of... No one's really the same, but I don't have him in the same level as, like, Denji. I really like him. He's one of my favourite characters, but I think in terms of overall characters, I wouldn't have him up there. I don't know about you. Because I know Qais hasn't watched it.
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
Sure, I don't know. It's a little harder because there's considerably less at stake, but Hinata is so likable. Like, I don't know. I find myself rooting for him very hard as an MC. I would put him a tier above Deku, honestly. Like,
would you have him high C then?
All very low B, like, genuinely. It's one of those. But we'll leave him in C for now, just for the sake of balance, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on,
So now we've got... I don't know who these two are, to be honest, Cam.
They're from
I don't.
Horimiya. They're from this is the one that
Have
I
you seen
can chime in on. Yeah, I watched... Fuck, I don't know. I've not watched the most recent season. I think I got halfway through the one before it. I think the guy was cool at first, but then they just progressively made his character worse. I wouldn't have them in C. I think D is fair for them.
D.
Wow. Did you watched it?
No, I've not. I recognise them, but I don't remember seeing them.
Okay.
No.
So now we have one of the protagonists from the big three. So we've got Ichigo from Bleach. What do we think?
Ichigo, I would say, is an incredible protagonist. I think A tier.
Yeah. So where are we putting him? Are we putting him above Goku or?
No, he's at the back of A tier, I'd say.
Okay.
As
Behind,
brilliant.
From Gintoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now we have got Inuyasha from the show. This is actually a show I want to watch. I've heard it's really good.
Inuyasha. I don't.
Yeah.
I've heard Inuyasha's cool, but I don't know. I've not seen the show.
Should we just put him on B just to be safe? Because I've heard very good things about this show.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I have no idea who this person is. It doesn't even look like. It doesn't even look like an anime.
Yeah.
Detective Conan.
What's that?
Yeah. So that is again, very old show. Incredibly, he was basically the first ever light Yagami, but not evil. And he was also a child. I'm gonna say, for the respecting of the culture, A tier. Like,
really?
Man. This was like one of the first,
massive, by the way.
Yeah, I'm surprised you've not heard of that show, guys.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen this person.
No, he's pretty fucking very iconic, honestly.
Okay, cool. Okay, now we've got a few more JoJo characters now.
Oh yeah.
So the first, so obviously we're on the J, because I don't know if you've noticed, but we're going in alphabetical order with the characters.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah. So now we are on Jonathan. We are on Jonathan Joestar. So this was the original JoJo from the JoJo series. He's not my favorite, to be honest. I feel like he's too noble, and he's kind of boring in terms of a character, because he's a very righteous character, but he's very one-dimensional, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because of that.
100% agree. I think it sets up the rest of the family really, really well.
Yeah.
Because he's like that. But that's where everybody else gets to flourish, and that's almost where he planted the seed.
Yeah.
I'd say C tier, honestly.
C, yeah, I'd say C as well. Yeah, okay. So another one now, I really like this character, is Joseph Joestar. He's probably at the minute my favourite at the minute. Yeah, I'd put him S.
Yeah, incredible fucking character. Like, legitimately, so funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, part 2, part 3, part 4 JoJo's even. Bro, he makes an appearance in all of them.
Does he?
Oh, yeah. Mate, he's the fucking goat. Which brings me on to Josuke, who is less of a goat. Josuke I actually found to be kind of a twat.
I haven't seen him yet.
He's too good for D tier. It's not fair me putting him in D tier. He's my least favourite of all of the JoJo protagonists.
C maybe here?
Yeah. And then Jotaro.
I like Jotaro. Actually.
I like Jotaro.
I didn't like him at first. I thought he was quite rude to his mother, which I did not like.
That's why he's so funny. He's rude to in general. He is a Giga Champ. He's very based. He's very based. I think he's got to go an A tier, honestly.
I'd agree.
Bro, it's so fun. Part 3 JoJo's is my favourite part, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Part 3.
I'm midway through part 2 at the minute, so...
Yeah. You'll like part 3, bro.
Okay, so we have got Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. What are we thinking?
Noah, this was in your top 10?
Yeah.
You're 9 by now?
This is in my field. Fuck. I liked his character. I did. Fuck, where would I put him now? Oh no. I feel like I'm looking at the list now, I feel like you're right I feel like Denji should be a little bit higher. I feel like I would put him, maybe
if I'm gonna put him in A, I'm putting him at the bottom of A.
Oh mate,
yeah,
sure,
that's
fine.
fair.
Go ahead. Just put him in A. Like,
I feel like looking at who he's with, I feel like he shouldn't be there. Fuck. I'm stuck between A or B. I don't know about you boys. I wouldn't have him in S though.
No. I think I would say genuinely probably A tier. Like, I think he's switched. I mean, his character switches fucking hard, through the series, and I think it's the first anime where they kind of capitalize on like a mental breaking of a character like quite well. Obviously, it's got that very iconic torture scene with him. Spoilers. Which, like, I think... I don't know. For that, I think it was a decent amount of... I'd say a lot of anime have mimicked that since A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I'm not sure who this character is.
Me neither.
Not a fucking clue.
Do you know? No, it looks like a fairly older anime.
Yeah, we're all too young.
Let's put it to the end. Okay, do you know what this is?
That's Kirito from Sword Art Online.
Okay. What do we think?
D tier. Kirito is... I know that there's one guy, Cyrus. He's a big Swordhead fan. I think... But he's designed to be made to be this, like, OP gamer, cookie-cutter, blank state. I mean, even look at his character, like... There's nothing notable to note about him. He's supposed to be a blank slate that you can project onto yourself, if you like, your own self-fulfilled like fantasy. I fucking think he's so flat and one-dimensional. Kirito. Yeah.
Okay, and do we know this character?
Yeah, that's the dude from Kuroko no Basket.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
What do we think about him?
The quiet one.
Yeah.
The hidden player.
I would say C tier. There's nothing spectacular about him as an individual. Again, it's like he plays well in the team and he's a cool dynamic to the show.
Cool. Okay, the next one we have Lelouch from Code Geass, one of my favourite characters of all time. Another like extremely well written character, extremely intelligent. You think he has one motive, but the whole time It actually turns out he's been cooking up another scheme and he has another motive, and he's not like a purely good or purely evil character as well, which is what I quite like. He's like, he has good intentions, but he's willing to do evil things in order to achieve those goals, which I quite like. So for me, I have him in S. Like, I think he's extremely well written character. I think he deserves.
I'll actually say I'd agree, to be honest. I don't think he's as good as the other two in S. But
yeah, I'd agree.
I think he is an S tier character. For the I think it's very hard to do politics in an anime and then understand that person's point of view, but then also show flaws throughout that as well. I think that is testament to the show's writing and Code Geass being a legitimate good show. But as a character,
those kinds of characters are my favorite types, where they're conflicted, and you're not really sure whether they're truly good or evil
because there's depth to it,
exactly.
Which I think is sick. Speaking of,
S.
S. I'll say,
oh my god,
who's at the top of S so far? Is it Eren?
Eren.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have him as high as Eren. I'd say second to Eren. No, I'd say second. Because he doesn't have as much depth to him. He's like more evil. Definitely more evil. Like, he's just more pure evil in terms of like what he is.
No, but he's so
he is so good. He is. I'd have him second.
Here's the thing, right? He's more evil, but it's because I the whole time Eren is sort of coordinated, he's always in control. What I like about Light is that he actually bugs out, like he loses his mind. That's a little bit more real in that sense. Like so it's a little bit more like, I don't know, Eren is like so perfect to the point where I think it's too perfect. Do you see what I'm saying? But the thing is, eventually you see, they only show you what they want to show you initially, so you see him as this cold, calculated guy. Yeah, close your ears, Noah.
Yeah, but, I feel like something's gonna come up here.
Yeah, but eventually, like, you see, when they show the flashbacks, you see him breaking down and crying, and you show he's not this calm guy. So it shows behind the scenes he's not as like collected as you think he is. So there is depth there, but he's not like a perfect all-knowing being. Whereas like Light, I think it only did it right at the end where he's like breaks down and everything. But initially, like, it was almost like he's too clever. Like, it's unbelievably clever the way he like. But I love it. I love it because it makes it for a good show and everything. But as a character, I feel like, I don't know, there's more subtleties to the way Eren's written, I feel. Whereas like Light is almost comically bad at times, which is quite funny. But I feel like as a character, there's a bit more depth to Eren, which I do prefer.
Sure. Okay. Yeah,
cool.
I'll let you have that.
So, Noah, I want you to take the floor now.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you just fucking questioning it?
I'd say.
I mean, like look at the other protagonists in A. Like, is inherently better?
Get him up.
I think he is. I think
that just because you two like One Piece? Like, what makes Luffy an S tier?
Cam, I'm not even like a One Piece stan, but I can already see like there is, like, I warm to him like so much immediately, whenever I see him on the screen. Even though it can be a bit annoying at times, but like and there is a bit of depth behind his backstory and everything, and he's just so iconic, and I do have him in S, I think.
Noah?
I think it's not even a question, to be honest with you. This is coming from the man that had Blue Lock, but I think that when it comes to Luffy, from the first episode when he's bursting out the barrel, and you straight away you knew what he was going to be like he's just a silly guy that stretches, but then you go into it and there's so much to him, and he rallies everyone, and he's such a, you can't help but be like, Luffy's, I think he's the GOAT. So I think he's undoubtedly S tier.
Sure. I mean,
why do you think he's not though?
I don't know. I think maybe it's from where I'm aware of One Piece. I've seen like a decent amount, but I'm not like as heavily invested as either of you two. I just like to think about like the other big three protagonists, and I would say, I mean, Qais, Naruto can come up.
Yeah, Naruto is going higher than Luffy on this list, definitely already.
But then it's like, is that just because you prefer Naruto as a show?
I do, but the thing, but what I love most about Naruto is the characters themselves and getting invested in the characters.
Yeah.
He's not my favorite character. If I was to have other characters, I'd have Itachi at the top of this list, but he's not a main character.
Do you think objectively he's a better written character than Luffy?
Yes.
So, is it fair to have them in the same bracket? Is what I'm asking.
I would have them both in S, but I will have Naruto above Luffy personally.
Okay. All right.
We can, as I said, we can assess at the end and change if we need. If there's too many in S, we can just bump someone down. Okay. So do we know who this is?
Yeah.
Soul Eater.
I've not seen Soul Eater. I've been meaning to fucking watch it because it looks so cool. Like, so cool. The art style looks insane. But again, not seen Soul Eater. So, yeah.
Let's put him around here. Okay, our favourite perv now, Meliodas. From the Seven Deadly Sins. I'm not a fan of this guy.
Oh, no, I'm not either. D-tier.
Is he going below Boruto?
No. Actually, I do, because he's a bit of a scoundrel. So I would say.
Boruto's actually, like, at least he's a kid who's like learning. Like, Meliodas is just so, I don't know. Like, they really try and make him like badass in the show. I don't know. I just think he falls flat. He's very creepy. He's a bit weird, you know.
Yes.
They've legitimately made me uncomfortable at times. I was like, I'm not too sure about that, mate. Yeah.
Okay, Mob, S for me.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same
honestly,
thing.
Because he's like such a non-stereotypical anime protagonist. Because he's not like a jacked shonen like a lot of these other guys. He's just like a dorky kid, but just the way you can relate to him, even though he's not. It makes him more relatable, is what I'm trying to say. That he's just a normal kid, but with these incredible powers, and it just shows him trying to navigate his way through his sort of like teen years. I love Mob. I think he's an S.
I think I have to agree entirely, especially within like sort of like Eastern culture, where it's like you are actually like sort of told to like, you know, you need to reserve your emotion. You can't be, you know, and he's like still growing up. He's still trying to figure things out. It's almost my exact reason why Kirito's in D tier and he's an S, because it's like when you're trying to make a relatable character, you do not make them a blank slate. You give them a layer of actual relatable personality. You find yourself rooting for Mob the entire show. It's how the whole show is about controlling your emotions and trying to, like, a coming of age story, you know, whilst with having like incredible fight. Like I've always Mob was in my 9x9, you know, for a reason, and it's because of him as a character. Genuinely fucking S tier. Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
He's from Fooly Cooly.
Okay. So what do we think about that?
Fooly Cooly, it's the same thing as Soul Eater. It looks cool. I've not seen it, but I know he's cool.
Cool.
God, yeah. Okay.
So, Naruto Uzumaki, for me, S. Definitely S. Even though he's not my favourite character in the show, incredible character. He was obviously like, when he was introduced, he was this like misfit kid who was picked on by everyone because I think he was told by everyone told that he's like the demon fox and they need to stay away from him. And then bit by bit, he like, what I love about Naruto so much is that he is the epitome of like hard work. Well, initially at least, like he has to work really hard to sort of like make his way through, whereas like someone like Sasuke was like incredibly gifted. It turns out eventually Naruto was gifted as well, but he in my early years of like training was a big inspiration for me, like just consistently putting in the work day after day. And that's like when you saw like training arcs of Naruto, I was like, yeah man, that's going to be me with the training. So I love Naruto so much, and there's so many depths and layers with the story in terms of his relationships with other people, to the point where it almost comes annoying at sometimes. Like for me, I don't know what about you, Cam, but like remember when Sasuke was like terrorizing the world, and then Naruto was like, I want to save Sasuke. I'm like, why do you want to save Sasuke?
That's the only reason I would be hesitant to put him in S because it does come with that. He's empathetic to a certain extent, but that sometimes gets to the point. It's like, why the fuck do you like this guy? He's an actual terrorist, and everybody keeps making excuses for him.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's a very. Well, the thing is, obviously, it works in the end because it's anime, and it's. I don't know if have you heard of Talk no Jutsu?
No.
Okay, so Talk no Jutsu is a saying that's been devised by Naruto fans. So I don't know if you've seen Cam, but basically in Naruto, what happens is there's a villain who is on the verge of destroying the world. He will then have an encounter with Naruto, who will give a speech about how Naruto felt like he did when he was younger. He felt isolated, cut off from the world.
Yeah.
But then he learnt the power of friendship, and then that's what drove him to do good. And then suddenly, the villain will do a complete 180 on their worldviews and mindset, and then will decide to help Naruto and save the world. And this happened several times in that show. It happened with Pain.
Yeah.
It happened with Obito.
Mm-hmm.
It happened with not Madara really. A few other villains though, significant villains. Completely changed their views, and it like became a thing called like Talk no Jutsu. Is what they called it. So this is a bit of a gripe with Naruto that I had, to be honest, as a whole. So what do you think? S or A?
I would say A personally for those reasons.
I'm going to put him at the top though. I can't put him any lower than that.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So who's this again? I've seen him, but
Natsu fucking Dragneel.
Yeah, Natsu. Yeah. Fairy Tail. Yeah. So what do we think?
Oh mate, I'm so fucking biased here. Throwback to the first episode where I said Natsu Dragneel got me into fucking training for that same reason. Bro was just like it's similar sort of story to Naruto in the fact that he was originally like an outcast. He found his friends, he found his almost like his tribe, his guild, and now he never gives up in the face of adversity. Fucking works hard, is jacked, is he's very likable. I don't feel as if he's the most fleshed out or depth character in the world. I would probably say B tier, honestly. Like, if I'm being very, very honest and just pure subjective ranking, B tier. But I just love him.
Cool. Okay.
Fair play.
So, do we know who this character is? This next one.
She's from Kill la Kill.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that actually, but do we know anything about her?
I know she's cool. Again, put her in. I know she's actually cool. Like, again, it's okay.
Let's just ignore her.
She's cool.
Okay, next one, Saitama from One Punch Man. What do we think? I'm not gonna say S. There's no chance he's an S. I'd say A. I will put him as A.
I think I would as well. He's a joke character, but he's actually cool and like
he's very iconic. But I just can't put him as an S. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of looking at the B tiers, honestly.
Oh, you really?
But to be honest, like I don't think he's as because he is a gag character.
Yeah.
He's very flat. Like, sick.
I agree.
He's so funny.
I agree.
Like, he's just there as a joke. What makes One Punch Man good is every other character and how they interact with him. Mm-hmm. But him himself, no.
Yeah. Okay, so do we know this character?
I've seen.
Do we know this character?
This looks like an older anime.
It's Shinji Ikari.
Yeah. I don't know what from, but he looks so familiar.
Yeah, he's the guy with the meme with the guy with the head on the chair.
Yeah, he's on the chair.
That's him. Yeah.
And what anime is this from?
Oh fuck! Oh no, this is poor. This is the anime podcast.
Hold on, I'll get up my laptop.
Yeah, go on.
Oh my god, it slipped my mind.
Shinji
I know
Ikari,
that yeah, Shinji Ikari.
Oh my god, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah.
I need to watch that anime because that is like one of the goats.
I know about this character. I've not seen Neon Evangelion, but I know I've seen a scene with this character. He's a little fucked up, man. But like he hasn't always been that way. I've not seen the show fully, but I would be like hard pressed. I know if I had, I would probably say A or S. And I know that sounds stupid, but from like what I know and what I've seen of him, again, I can't really speak on it without spoiling it. But bro is
surely can't go A just for that though.
He's very troubled, man. Like he's. Yeah.
I love a troubled character.
No, but if you know what he did, like if that was clipped, like bro, he's very fucked up. Like he does some very fucked up things. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right, next one now. Do you know who this is?
That's Brucey from Fire Force.
Right.
I've not seen Fire Force.
No, nor have I. Let's just ignore that. Okay, next one. Do you know who this is?
Yep, that's the brother from Food Wars. Beta. Or C.
Beta.
Ceta, maybe. Beta. No, Ceta. Purely just because it's like, again, he's got one skill. He can make food very well. And Food Wars is, it's, I don't know. He's cool. But again, there's no troubledness really. There's not really an awful lot of depth. He's just sort of like, outcast, you don't belong here. Oh, you can cook food well. That's the show, Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Cool. Okay, next one, Spike from Cowboy Bebop. I have him as an S. I think he's...
No way, man.
I do. I genuinely think he's got one of the best character designs of all time in terms of how cool he is and his outfit and everything, but he's got depth to his character in terms of his backstory and his history in terms of what happened with Vicious and even his... I like that he's a bit more subtle in terms of his delivery of lines and everything, rather than some of the more out there anime protagonists, but there's a lot of depth behind what he says. I have him as an S, like minimum A, absolute minimum A.
You're right. You're right. That's the thing I hate is that you're right. Okay, fine. Put him at the bottom of S. Or very high A,
Yeah. Well, we can change it if we need to.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Subaru from ReZero. So I have actually seen a fair bit of ReZero, so I can comment on this. As a show, it's probably up there in terms of the isekai. Probably the best I've seen in terms of an isekai.
Yeah.
As a character, Subaru, he's not bad. I'd say he's just a bit mid in terms of a character. Like he's just kind of forgettable in terms of an anime. He's not the best character in the show.
Yeah.
But he's not the worst as well. He's just a standard kid who's like just gets transported to an isekai and just navigates himself through the world, and he kind of acts like the way we would if we were that age, and which is fine.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there's much to him as a character as a whole. That makes him stand out from anyone else. So I'd maybe have him as a C. I don't think he's bad, but I just don't think he's an amazing character.
I agree. Yeah.
Cool.
Again, it's semi-relatable, but it's more so like the situation to get thrown into, which make the show great, but less sort of about how he deals with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one is, what's his name from Tokyo Revengers? Takamichi from Tokyo Revengers.
I've seen 2 episodes of Tokyo.
I have seen the whole first season and 1 episode of the second season, which I didn't like, so I stopped watching it. This character, he's good. I would say he's better than mid. Basically, it's a show where there's like a group of kids in a sort of like a rival gangs, I suppose, in a school, where they will basically just have fights with each other. This kid gets sort of buddied up with a couple of kids from one of the gangs. Then one of the girl that he's in love with gets run over, and basically it's about like time travel. So he'll go back in time to try and stop some of the events that will will lead up to this girl dying and all that sort of thing. As a character, he gets introduced as this whiny little teenager who gets beat up, but over time he does grow and he does develop and he does sort of find his way within the group. So I would actually have him as a B. I do actually think he's a decent character, but not an amazing character, I'd say.
Not a question about the show, but about the concept, because that seems
Yeah.
to be like, is that just a thing that happens in Japan? Just like school students just fight each other because they go to different schools.
I don't know. Maybe it's just dramatized for the show.
But that's quite common. I've seen that in a lot of anime, and it's like, is that what kids are getting up to in Japan? Like,
I don't think so. I think they're actually quite well behaved in Japan.
Yeah.
They teach a lot of respect. Like Japanese people are extremely respectful. Like at least the adults are.
But what about the kids? Is it because they get out of this? Just look, because you see somebody with a different blazer on, you go. And
I don't think. I think it's an anime thing, to be honest.
It's probably just playing on, like, you know how if you saw another school, like on a school trip here, you'd just be like that. If you were here,
they
it's
would be
probably
on.
just playing up to that over there.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Tanjiro from Demon Slayer now. So what do we think about Tanjiro?
I like him.
You like him, sure.
I don't. Yeah, he's
a
not.
great written character.
Once again, he's too noble. He's way too noble. Like he has there's no flaws to him. There's no like he never has a moment where he questions his actions or he does anything questionable at all. He always does the quote-unquote right thing, which makes him a bit boring, in my opinion, as a character.
But if we're going down his what's happened to him, his whole family's just been butchered, and his sister became a demon.
The thing is, I would want that to give him more darkness to his character, but I feel like he's just too happy-go-lucky, and he doesn't.
He has his moments where he switches it on, but it's the same thing. It's like he never is morally in the wrong for a second. He's never done anything where you're like, oh, that was maybe a little bit dark. You should have controlled your emotions better. It's like, he did the right thing again.
Yeah.
But is that what you have to do to be an S tier? Like, I'm not saying he's S tier, by the way, but is that what you need to do to be up there?
Even having like different thoughts which make you stand out and not some like robot like moral perfect being. Like it just makes him a bit bland, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd have him definitely not a D. I'd say C, maybe B.
I'd have him B.
I'll have him C.
Maybe high C.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so we have Thorfinn
Probably
from Vinland Saga now.
S. No, I don't think that's up for debate.
Yeah, I'd say definitely S.
The question is, I guess we can sort out the order later.
Where do we want him?
We'll need to do a bit of a tidy up after this is done.
In between Light and Aaron, I'd say.
Okay, let's go. Okay, fair enough. Right, do we know who this is?
No.
Okay. So we have Sailor Moon now.
I've not seen Sailor Moon.
I haven't seen Sailor Moon either. I know it's one of the most iconic anime characters of all time.
Bro,
I actually haven't seen it.
Born in fucking 1981,
Yeah.
I grew up with ChatGPT.
Yeah. Do we know who this person is? I recognise it, but I'm not exactly sure where it's from.
They were in the Anime Physiques episode.
Were they?
I think so.
I've
I
not
think
got
they had
a
a
clue.
crazy ass midsection, but I don't recognise them.
No, I don't.
Is
Either.
that the woman?
Yeah, it is a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Next one now. This is also a woman. Do we know who this person is?
I don't watch anime with women in it. No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I only watch
Sam's a
anime.
misogynist, guys.
I only like watching anime with big men. Speaking of big men, Yuri Itadori.
Yuji Itadori.
Oh, yes.
I have him in B, in my opinion.
No, he's A.
I have him with Denji. I think they are.
Yeah.
I think they are up there.
Actually, I do think he's a bit better than Denji, but I still think he's not my favourite anime protagonist. I think he's, once again, I always prefer the darker, brooding sidekick, so I actually prefer Fushiguro to him, actually. Megumi, I actually prefer Megumi as a character. I think there's more mystery to him, and he's a bit more subtle and understated as a character, and I just feel like that makes him a bit more interesting, whereas Yuji's a bit louder and...
Okay, here's a curveball. Yuji interacting with Todo.
That I was
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's S tier.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
S
yeah.
tier.
Like that.
Yeah, that is-
there you go. Like now he's
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
as fuck. Like yeah.
Okay, let's put him in. Let's put him in here then.
yeah, there you go.
Maybe we'll put him here.
Kodo might actually be probably one of my favorite fucking characters. I wish. I
Yeah.
think at some point we probably should do like a character.
When we
Yeah.
did that 3x3, there's a section to do manga and characters.
Let's.
And I was
Okay,
playing
we'll
around-
do characters one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing around
Yeah.
with my characters and yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely do
end up-
characters.
I'll still get Ian fucking shouting down my neck.
Yeah. Shit picks, bro.
Yeah, man. Okay, this is another anime that I definitely want to watch. It's Yu Yu Hakusho.
He's. I've seen. I know of him as a character.
Yep.
He's fucking badass, man. Like he's actually badass. I've not seen enough Yu Yu Hakusho again, like to make that cool and to like say, oh, he's definitively better or worse than this person.
Yeah. Should
I know
we
he's
leave it?
sick, yeah, I'll leave it for the sake
Okay.
of safe.
Right. Okay, so we've got them now. What I want to do is I want to get an even amount in each one. Like I don't want to. So if we need to move stuff up or down, we can. So I want to kind of like fill them up, maybe.
Cool.
So I'm just thinking how many of.
Put Ichigo from Bleach down into B, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I wasn't gonna say that. I think I've not watched enough Bleach, but I feel like if you're part of the big three, I feel like there's got to be enough behind the main
I want
character.
to put Naruto in S.
Yeah, that's
them.
the only reason why you've said we're moving them around. To do it even.
No, because I want to get an even
We're
amount.
gonna make them even, mate.
Yeah. Let's put
I'd put Hinata.
Tanjiro in.
I'd
Hinata
have
in what?
Hinata up.
In B.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
Okay. Trying
that's
to
a
think.
lot.
That looks alright, doesn't it?
I'm pretty
I'm pretty happy with that.
The people
Yeah.
do
I think
all
Asta-
correct, but like
I
these are, like,
Asta and
shows.
Itadori are the same. I still think that I would have had what's his name, Tanjiro, a bit higher, but I think that's relatively fair compared to who he's with.
I think Tanjiro, looking at who he's with, I don't think is a
Yeah,
like even so. Like I would probably say the best in C tier is Joseph by a fucking landslide. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Right.
Like even like Tanjiro is not a better character than Joseph. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Right, let's try and rank these S ones now, because I want to get these in order.
Well, I think it's real hard to pick between Eren and Thorfinn. I'd
I
still
have
put
Eren.
them two.
I have Eren.
But Vinland Saga literally changed everything.
It
what
did.
over one.
I still think Eren as a character is a better character than Thorfinn. I think there's more layers to him. Yeah, so I have Eren first. Thorfinn, yeah, that's fair, having Thorfinn second.
Like
For me, I think Lelouch needs to be higher than this.
I would say Mob needs to be higher as well. Honestly, I'm willing to put Mob behind Lelouch because he's less complex. But Joseph
Do we want
needs-
do we want Lelouch and Mob above Luffy? Maybe.
no chance. Yeah.
No.
Fuck off, Qais.
Okay. I think we're good with that. Do we want to do any more changes?
Denji
I feel like
Denji and S tier, bro. Come on. He's so
I don't.
cool.
Nah, I want to. He's not. He doesn't not belong. I truly in my heart believe he does not belong with those characters.
Read the
Do we
manga.
No,
think
but
do we
this
think
is an
that-
anime tier list, not a manga one.
It doesn't
do we
matter.
think objectively Conan should be up in A then?
What's that?
None of us have
Ichigo.
really watched. No, Detective Conan.
Oh, Conan. Okay.
No. I
No.
think he should stick where he is. Honestly, it's one of those where I understand enough about Detective Conan to be like, okay, that anime did something completely different, and if it wasn't for Detective Conan, there would be no Death Note. There'd be no Light Yagami. Straight up, like you got to respect the OGs to a certain extent, you know. I know he's a kid. I know he looks a bit doofy, but like, trust me, that's a good ass show, good ass murder mystery.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screenshot this. I'm gonna post it to our Instagram page,
So
and I'm gonna and then we'll see what hate we get for it.
I do love how all the shit characters were first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, out of the way, yeah.
To be fair, it was in alphabetical order as well, so that was an interesting way we did it.
Have we
yeah,
got all
I
the
think- I
women
think-
in the bottom tier? Oh, that is bad.
Oh, we are gonna get called out for being misogynist here.
What's up?
But the thing is, they should have included other anime with better female characters.
Like who?
Violet Evergarden.
Okay, sure. Yeah. What would be another good one? Oh yeah, no. To be fair, let's just.
No, trust me, there will be others. I just can't.
Yeah,
think of them.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Perfect.
All
It's
right.
No women watch this show anyway. So
Yeah. So, in conclusion, we only like male protagonists.
We only like men.
Yeah. As you could tell by the three hosts of this show, yeah, big into our boys. So thank you for watching another episode of the AniGains
On that note.
podcast. Yeah. As always, I've been your host, Mr. Cam's Fitness. Links for all of our shit, including clothing sponsorships, coaching application sign-ups, will be in the posing application sign-ups, will be in the description.
Supplements.
Supplements. I need to do another supplement order. Mate, I'm not being funny. This is not getting rinsed for the next fucking couple of days. It's been stinking out my room this entire pod. I've been getting progressively more annoyed as the show's gone on because of it. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you guys have any comments or have any suggestions for what you want to see for a later episode, leave them below in the YouTube. We read every comment, we send them into the group chat, and then we talk about how much of a gimp you are, depending on what you say. So make sure you leave your comments. We'll screenshot them and then laugh at you. And like I said, as always, if share this around on your stories or whatever, you will receive an exclusive Cam's Fitness DM of me doing something. Everybody does seem to enjoy those exclusive pictures, so if you want one, share this on your story, and I'll send you something fun. Yeah, that's it.
sweet.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.